What's up, reefers? Welcome back to another special episode today. What I mean by special, we're at Graham's house. If you guys haven't heard about him, the guy's got over 11 tanks. When I tell you 11 tanks of a lot of beautiful Acroporas, torches, chalices everywhere, mushrooms. Wait till you guys see these jawbreaker mushrooms. But it's so much content that I'm gonna have to break it on multiple episodes. So today we're gonna dive into the first episode, and the first episode is gonna be his main display tank. So follow me inside, I'm gonna show you a lot more. Come on, let's go, guys. All right, guys, we finally made inside Graham's house. Graham, nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us over, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what a surprise, bro. I mean, where you been hiding? I mean, the first time I heard about you, it was exactly 10, 11 months ago from Ivan from Jungle Boys. He goes, man, you gotta go see Graham. He's got this crazy Acroporas growing everywhere. And I say, where's he from? Maryland. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can contact him. So he said he was gonna contact you. And I guess somehow lately you contact us, and here we are. I mean, incredible. I didn't know you have this much coral. You've been a collector for how long?
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, 2006.
Wow. Incredible. And it's, you always been in this house with all this setup?
No, we moved in here in 2013 and got this tank, the big one, 2014.
So this is the first tank out of one system. Can you tell me what this system consists of? How many tanks?
Yeah, so this is about like 300-gallon water volume total, but it's got this 300, two 50-gallon frag tanks all plumbed together.
One thing that is really cool to mention, you have a lot of corals that are grafted, and it's super cool because they're hard to find, you know, just it's something that happens naturally.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that it's two corals that we graft together and we force them to grow
I've
together.
tried it, it doesn't work.
No, I mean, it doesn't work. I wish it was that easy, you know, it's far from that. When we say SPS, it's mainly Acroporas. We're not talking about Stylophoras or burnets. One of the cool corals to see here, which you're gonna laugh, is a coral's been around for over 20 years around in the hobby. You know what it is.
Yep.
It's the Oregon torch. Such a beautiful coral, man. I mean, it never gets old. It's one of the bluest corals you will ever see.
Absolutely.
How long have you had that specific frags? How long have you been growing it?
I mean, none of the colonies are 20 years old or anything, but I've been growing it since pretty much I got into the hobby, so since 2007 probably.
So there you go. So you got that coral 16, 17 years ago. So the fact that you bought a frag 17 years ago and today you're still growing, it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
And can you tell me the name of some of these Montiporas here in the bottom? Because you got a lot of different ones.
Probably Vino is probably my favorite. I got plenty of that. It just gets a nice orange color. You don't need to give it a lot of light or anything. It's actually growing a little more colorful, like shaded by this table.
You just mentioned the Monties right there. They're getting a little shaded by the table.
Yep.
They're doing better. So a lot of people do not know that when we mean SPS, they need light. It's most Acroporas. Montiporas actually don't like a lot of light. Someone can get used to taking a lot of light, like the Rainbow Monty, the Sunset Monty, the Superman Monty. There's certain Monties that they need the bright light to get the right coloration, right?
Yep.
But actually, they do better on the lower light, medium light, I would say, like 150, 200 par.
Yeah.
Like most people that understand that it's something for people. If you guys watching at home, if a Montipora is kind of pale, put it down on the less light, guys. They don't need to be at the very top.
Yeah, they'll grow like weeds either way.
Oh yeah. Can you mention to me some of your favorite Acroporas in here?
Yeah, like you said, Splice.
The Rainbow Splice.
Classic at this point, but it's just like that for grafted piece. The contrast is amazing. Eisenberg next to it, highlight coral.
That's the one I got a frag of that one, guys.
It just glows. Very slow growing. You got to give it a ton of par, which this tank has. I like the smooth skins. I was trying to do a little smooth skin islands here.
Gotcha. Cool. Can you tell me a little bit about your fish?
Yeah, so some of the fish are really old. I've had them since I got into the hobby, like this hippo tang here, the yellow tang, the powder blue, the Desjardini.
Yeah.
All pushing 16, 17 years in captivity.
Is that a Regal Angel back there?
Yeah, there's a Regal. The Regal actually, I got him around the same time. And the guy that had him before me had him for like at least 5 years. So he's like 23 years old. So it's amazing. You know, some of these fish, they live, you take good care of them, you feed them well, they live seemingly forever.
Yeah,
decades.
I mean, Casper's been with us since August of 2010.
Yeah.
It's going into 15 years now.
Nice. Yeah, so tangs, angelfish, they'll live a long time. You take care of them. Other fish, like the wrasse, I used to have a lot of fairy wrasses in here. Wrasses only live about 5 years. So it's kind of, you know, you think about if you're going to keep a reef tank a long time, you want a fish that you invest in, that you're going to have for a long time.
Yeah.
Angelfish and tangs.
So I see you got some green chromas. They're pretty big.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful clown that he's missing a piece of tail.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened with that?
I don't know what's up with her. So she used to be in the tank upstairs, and she had a male, and she used to always beat on him to the point where he died. 'Cause, you know, they're kind of aggressive sometimes. And she's, ever since that, I don't know if she got in a scuffle with him and has never grown back.
Rough then.
Or what. Yeah.
Jeez.
But upstairs, she would host in the corner of the tank, and it didn't really seem healthy. So I brought her down here, put in this bigger tank, and now she's much more around the tank, and I feel better about that she's not just stuck in the corner, you know.
Gotcha.
So she seems happier.
And then you have some filefish.
Yeah, got the filefish for Aptasia.
So you have two of them. Are they up here?
Yep. Yeah, both of those are in here.
What kind of filefish are those?
Matted. I think just matted
filefish. Is there any other fish that we're missing in here?
Stripey, Australian stripey.
Okay. And
I got him for,
right?
Yep. Problem is they get big fast. You know, they're not even reef fish. And they grow fast.
Amazing for Aptasia. Amazing.
At first. But now he can't get the little ones. He can't get in there.
It's too big.
It's too big.
Gotcha.
Right?
So Acropora is maybe better.
Yeah, yeah. But copper bands are challenging, you know.
Gotcha.
Hit or miss. So.
And Graham, tell me about this tank for flow.
2 MP40s on the top, 2 MP40s down, kind of in those crevices there.
Okay.
And then some tons 6105s on each corner.
So plenty of flow.
Yeah, a lot of flow. I mean, the SPS love it. The only problem I run into is I wanted to keep the sides of the tank clear.
Yep.
So I put everything on the back wall. But it's really hard. So everything's happy except on the sides where the 6105s are pulling up. The SPS don't like that. They get that kind of where they're trying to grow around the flow.
That?
Yeah. And it's
when they get that growth, like...
Right, because it's all one direction. Like they really want turbulent flow that's changing direction. So that's the problem. That's the price I pay for having a clean sidewall.
Also, I noticed you don't have sand, but you also don't have a piece of starboard on the bottom, just glass.
Yep.
Not often I see glass like that. A lot of people get paranoid that a piece of rock could fall, something could crack, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's 10 years old. At this point, it would have happened. You know, I've dropped rocks.
Has it happened by now?
Yeah. It's tempered glass. It's pretty thick. It's not going to just break easily.
Got you.
It's not like a brittle window pane of glass where you throw a little pebble at it and it's going to shatter. Like, it takes some force to break those.
That covers your fish. That covers the corals. Let's look at your lighting real quick. And we talked about your flow.
Absolutely.
So, wow, this is bright.
Yep.
So, what do we have here?
So, we got 6 G5 Radion XR30s.
With the diffusers?
Yep, with the diffusers.
Okay.
2 Reef Bright XHO blue strips, and then I keep 4 T5s, Blue Plus T5s.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of type for a tank this size.
Yeah, this tank, you don't got to push this much par into a display tank. This I do because there's certain pieces, like Rainbow Splice at Eisenberg, I can get really good coloration out of when I push the par up 600, 700, 800 par.
I mean, the par looks happy.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I mean, if it's kind of overkill. I could run a lot lower. I could probably keep 500 par at the peak, at the top, and I'd keep SPS happy, no problem.
Got you.
So this one tank, I run a little higher. Most of my other tanks, I run more 300 to 400, maybe 500 for Acros.
And how often you replace your T5 bulbs?
12 to 18 months. I measured par before, like on the farm system, I run a lot more T5s. And I've let them go as far as 18 months. And the par drop off between 12 months and 18 months isn't significant. So unless you can see a color shift, they can run 18 months no problem, I think.
So now let's talk a little bit about your maintenance routine. Water changes?
Yep. Water changes about 20% every 2 weeks religiously.
Basic salinity, 1.025.
Yeah, I run like hair on the higher side, 35 to 36.
And your alkalinity, where are you keeping it at?
8.
8?
Yep.
And your calcium?
440, 450.
Nitrates and phosphates?
Nitrates on this system, typically around 15 to 25. Phosphates, I keep around 0.1, 0.15.
Okay.
I've had phosphates much higher in the past, up to 0.6, 0.8. Corals color up well. You can do it. And phosphates aren't a killer. I notice issues, though, when phosphates, you change rapidly. So when they rise rapidly, if they come up, especially if you put on GFO and brought phosphate down too fast, that'd be very bad.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yes.
Repel the coral.
Don't ever do that.
And can you tell me what kind of salt do you use?
Instant Ocean.
Okay, and how do you dose your calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium?
So I do 2-part. I put the magnesium and the calcium in the same.
So you do A and B, basically?
Yes, A and B.
And what brand do you use?
Bulk Reef.
And what kind of doser is that?
It's a medical or a laboratory grade doser.
Okay.
They're pretty old, but compared to like anything you find in the reef hobby, the materials and the build quality is much better.
And for a protein skimmer, what do you have in there?
That's a Reef Octopus. I want to say it's a 5000 XP. You know, if you go
5,000
bubble
XP?
blaster pumps, yeah, that's an older skimmer.
They're pretty good protein skimmers, man. We've been using them for a very long time. I mean, for at least 15 years.
Yep.
Very reliable. And then you only have 2 small filter stocks over there?
Yep.
And how often do you replace them?
Every day or two.
Every day or two?
Yep. They fill up pretty fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a choice, I'd probably put a bigger sump on this system. It's a little small. It won't overflow if the power goes off, but it's a little tight for the size.
And can you tell me what these controllers here?
Yeah, it's just an ATO. I built those. I designed and built them.
Okay.
So they work either with float switches, you know, like the Madison float switches,
Yeah.
or I could plug in like a tons ATO with the 12-volt in, and it'll control it. So it's compatible with both. I just built them so I have something. I know how it works. I've got spares I've built. I can swap them out if there's a problem.
Like I say, he's a thinker, guys.
Yep, engineering. So
He's an engineer, a mechanical engineer. That's why.
Yep.
That's where the thinker comes from. No, everything's so clean and out. I see you got 2 empty canisters in there. Can you tell me what they're for?
yeah, sometimes I used to run GFO or carbon. I typically don't. I leave them on. Maybe if I had an issue or something, I want to throw some carbon on.
Okay.
I got an easy way to do it, but I haven't used them in years.
Okay, and can you tell me what this is right here?
Yes, that's a KHG monitor. I think it's the first automatic alkalinity tester that came to market. I got them as soon as they were available because, you know, alkalinity, if you keep your alkalinity stable, everything else is good, right? If you have your system down.
For the most part.
Well, yeah.
But that's the one, it's true.
Yeah.
So if you're watching at home, always the first thing you want to do, guys, is watch your alkalinity. Make sure that it's whatever number you pick from 7 to 11, pick a number. Don't go up, don't go down. Just try to keep as stable as you can. Well, beautiful, beautiful system. Can we see now the 2 frag tanks you have with it?
Yeah.
Come on. So here we are. So this is 1 out of 2 frag tanks attached to the 300-gallon system.
Yep.
So I see you got your little more SPS, like if you didn't have enough over there.
Yeah.
And then you got a bunch of torches right there. You got some holy grails here. All these all-tank grays that you have for a long time.
Yeah, they're all aquaculture. I think they're masters, but yeah, Holy Grail variant.
Master holy grails. There's just so many different versions of them by now.
Yeah.
What do you call them? Master holy grails?
I think it's master if it gets white tips. If it's got blue or purple tips, it's Holy Grail variety.
So then you got this big old Cyphistria here. Are you afraid how fast those things are starting to grow when they get comfortable?
Yeah, I just keep it kind of off the rack a bit and let it only encrust where it can.
Got you. And then for lights on this tank, you got 4 Radeon Gen 5s as well?
Yep, Gen 5, the XR15s.
With the diffuser.
And then more, yep, and more reef brights.
Cool. And then what do you have here in the middle? Is this your DIY
Turf scrubber.
algae scrubber, turf scrubber?
Yeah, I feel like it helps a little buffer out phosphates, a little bit more export, you know. Always trying to figure out how to get phosphates out so you can feed more.
You can't help it but to build things, huh?
Yeah,
You're
I
good
do
at
my
it,
own
though.
acrylic work, solvent weld, cut up the edges, polish them.
And then now let's look at this one here. So you got more Acros on this one, more Montes. But same thing on this tank, same lights, identical to the other one?
Yeah.
And same flow, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, these are pretty much just a mirror of each other, these 2 tanks.
And can you tell me what 3 power heads are you using in here?
They're just some cheap Jabeo ones.
Okay.
And I probably wouldn't have gone that route, but they were the right size. They had like an angle adjustment, and they fit. You know, I'd rather have something like an MP40 that's consistent with all the other tanks, but I can't adjust an MP40.
Right.
And I like the Ton 6105s, but they're too big for that spot.
Cool.
So I had to find something smaller.
Well, Graham, we just looked at the first system. For people watching at home, is there anything you think that we missed? Anything that have been important for people to know?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I run my systems pretty simple.
All right. Well, Graham, thank you for having us over.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
This is just the first episode, guys. Stay around for more. We got a lot. Can you show them real quick? I mean, there's a lot to cover. We got more tanks. So we'll see you guys on the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. Post some comments below. Graham, if people got questions regarding this, please jump in YouTube and just answer some of the questions. Also, one more thing. If people want to buy your corals, how can they buy your corals?
Yes, mostly on Reef to Reef. GWS3 is my username. And then I'm on Instagram, started a new account recently, Graham's Aquaculture.
Okay, we're going to post it on the link below. Graham, again, thank you. Phenomenal job.
Thank you.